This video, let's talk about integrating WishList Member with PayPal Payments Pro. So to get there, go to Setup, Integrations, and you'll be under Payment Providers, and go ahead and click PayPal Payments Pro. So the first thing that we'll need to do, now you may need to enable this, may be disabled, just go ahead and click that button to enable it. And then the first thing we'll need to do in here is configure it. So we'll go ahead and click the Configure button. And it's going to ask you for your API username, password, and signature. You also see down here, if you have want to do sandbox testing, you'll have a different API username, password, and signature that you'll get from the sandbox area. We're going to go ahead and stick to the live one here. So go ahead and click this link to open up the PayPal API credentials. Now you may need to log in order to do this. I was already logged in, so it just takes me straight to the page. But once you log in, it'll take you right here. So this is pretty straightforward. You'll see your API username, password, and signature. You just copy those over in here. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this and then copy these over just because they're sensitive information. So I'll go ahead and do that and then we'll jump back in. All right, once those are copied over, then you can simply hit save and close, and that will save those settings. And now WishList Member and PayPal are configured to talk to one another. So then the next thing to do is simply come into the products tab, and now we're going to create products. So the way that the PayPal integration works is you're probably familiar that PayPal has buy now buttons, and usually you have to go into PayPal and create those buttons and so forth. But with their API, we are able to sort of create those on the fly. So all you really need to do is create some products inside of a WishList Member here and tie them to a membership level so that when someone purchases that product in PayPal, which is essentially a buy now button in PayPal, then they will be added to that memberships level inside WishList Member. So what we'll do is go ahead and click Add New Product, and we can give this whatever name we want. So we'll just go Gold Membership here, and we'll give it access to the gold level. Of course, you could create one for each of these if you're going to sell all of the, if you have multiple levels and you sell all of them. You also see any posts that have posts or pages or custom post types that have the pay per post feature enabled. You can also create a product for one of those and a button for one of those and so forth. So we'll just go ahead and click stick to the gold level. Then we have one-time payments and subscriptions. So for one-time payment, it's pretty straightforward. It's just the amount of the payment and the currency you want to use. So enter those. For a subscription, there's a few more options. So we have amount and currency again. Then we have the billing cycle. So do you want to charge them once a month, once a day, once a week, once a year? You could do it every 2 months, every 4 days, however you want to set that up. Then when you want to stop. So if you're doing a fixed membership, you could do it after, say, 6 months. So that would be 6 cycles, or you could do it after 6 years or 6 weeks or 6 days, however you want to do that. And then the max failed attempts here is if we try to charge their card or however exactly they set up their payment, we try to charge them and it fails, how many times should we retry before we actually cancel their membership? So 3 seems to be a pretty good number, so that's the default here. We'll go ahead and switch this back to never. All right, so that's the subscription. And then if you want to offer a trial period, you can do that. Again, pretty straightforward. So how much is the trial? So you could do like a $1 trial if you wanted to. And then the duration. So here it defaults to 7 days. It could be 7 weeks, 7 months, 7 years, whatever you want. So you can go ahead and set that up. I'm going to go ahead and click this back off. The one thing to keep in mind here is there's a lot of settings, but probably in most cases, the only one you'll ever have to change is this one, because I'd say most memberships are probably going to be a 1-month billing cycle. They're never going to stop, and the max failed attempts 3 is usually a pretty good number. So unless you have some compelling reason that you know for sure you want to do something different here, you'll probably never have to change these. Really, the amount is the only one that you'll change based off what you want to charge. So it really can be that simple if you want it to be. All right, so once you've set that up, just go ahead and hit save and close, and that will create the product. Now you'll see over here, if you want the payment link, so let's say you're using Elementor or you have your own button, you just need the link, then you can go ahead and copy this link right here, and you can then paste that in wherever you would like to use that. So that's the first way that you can get it into your sales page. The second way is to head over to a page, and we'll actually use the classic block inside WordPress and the WishList shortcode inserter. So real quick, if you're not familiar how to get the classic block, you can either it often will be listed down here, or you can just do / and then start typing classic, and you'll see classic there as well, and you can go ahead and click that. So you can get to it either way, or if you're using the classic editor plugin, then you'll see this sort of by default. What you're looking for though is this blue icon here. We go ahead and click that. We go to integrations. You'll now see the PayPal Pro integration listed here. You can go ahead and click that. And this will allow you to then come in and select the product. So we created the gold membership. So we'll select that. And then we can change the button. We can do pay with PayPal. We can do buy now with PayPal, checkout with PayPal. You can use a custom image. You can do plain text if you would like. I'll just leave it set to pay with PayPal. And then you can do small, medium, or large buttons. Again, whatever you prefer for your site. And then you can come down here and you will see that there's a shortcode here. Now I'm going to copy this, but you can also, the first thing that you can do is you can just go ahead and insert merge code, and it'll drop right here into this classic block. It will display on the front end, and that works fine. Or you can copy the shortcode like I did, and you can use the shortcode block and go ahead and paste that in there, and that will also work as well. So if you want to use the shortcode block, just get it from this shortcode inserter and then paste it into the shortcode block. So whatever you prefer. So those are the different ways that you can get the button on the page. And now if you just sort of look at it, we have WishList member and PayPal talking to each other. We have our products set up. So when someone purchases a particular product on PayPal, we know that we need to add them to the WishList member, or the membership level that we set in WishList member. And now we have a button on our sales page for someone to click to purchase that product. So when they click and purchase that, click that button, they'll be taken to PayPal to do all of the payment stuff, probably familiar with that process. And then once they get done there, they'll be redirected back to WishList member, to the registration page where they can create their account, their username and password and all that. When they do that and hit that submit button, they will then be taken to the after registration page that you have set for that particular membership level, and they'll be all set. They'll get access to content and so forth, and they'll be good to go. So the entire process is really on your side, is set up at this point. So that's integrating WishList member with PayPal.